I thought that it would be really nice to just capture some of your ideas or thoughts. Just kind of give us your introductory spiel on what future making means to you and the kind of work that you do.
A lot of what I'm doing is either designing forms of learning for sort of civil society groups and what I've been calling social organisms, because they're kind of too small and malleable to be sort of proper organisations, and looking at how they organise themselves but can then learn from each other by perhaps organising together or just meeting and encountering each other and therefore understanding more about their own practices. So that's something that I consider quite an important part of my work. Most of my work has not been about saying this is what the future should be like, but about equipping people to see themselves as agents of change for the future, and also asking how you can keep some discretion in the system so that as we hardwire with a lot of the sort of systems we're putting in around us, we're actually saying, but we don't know what we want the future to become. This is not an attempt to make the future, this is an attempt to use our resources wisely and well at the moment and let next generations still be able to shake up the infrastructure. Big challenge, both theoretically and practically and kind of methodologically at the moment, is trying to include people in visions of things that can't be imagined yet because they don't exist. People have to put themselves into a future where something already exists and describe it backwards. And that's enormously effective, as I'm sure you've been finding in future making. That if you ask people to talk about the future, they're vague. But if you ask to talk about a past from a future that they're then in, they can articulate it. So that's an extremely useful way of using our cognitive frameworks and the way memory works. But I think for me, a lot of the stuff about future making is slightly concerning unless it contains that kind of deferral of meaning, that space for playfulness or even anarchy. Because if you start to have something that is already deterministic about the future now, then all you're saying is we're projecting our present forward. And we know that one thing that the future is that it won't be the present.